Hello, participants, staff, and honorable guests. Whether you're watching this in real time or through recording, welcome to the inaugural iteration of the YNPS Research Mentorship Program Award Ceremony. My name is Sherlyn Fung, and it is my distinguished honor today to sit by you today to recognize everyone's efforts. It certainly feels a bit surreal to witness all of our growth over the past 2 months. When we started this program, our goal was simple, yet ambitious: to create an opportunity for students to convert knowledge into impact. But by watching the building of community, the connections between mentors and mentees, and the courage for all of you to take on new challenges, it is safe to say that you have far exceeded our initial expectations. To our program staff team, especially Akash and Juliet, you have created an 8-week program whose legacy will last far beyond these weeks. For the consistent responding to inquiries, to late night panics and meetings, you guys are truly the backbone of the entire initiative. So all mentors, this RMP will not have been possible without all of you running late night sessions and giving out personalized guidance along the way. I not only see wisdom in you, but also immense leadership, professionalism, and generosity. To mentees, you've shown what the future of science might look like, and I think it's safe to say that the future is in very good hands. Please keep in mind that today might mark the end of your participation in a research program, but this shall only be the commencement of your academic pursuits for research. We hope you will keep honing your work, asking even more profound questions, and seek to create greater impact. Well, congratulations to all of you, and let's get started. And before we dive into awards, we're happy to have Franco from Porte Global here today with us as our presenting sponsor.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations on this inaugural award ceremony. It sounds like everyone has been up to some amazing research, and I can't wait to see all the great work and all the great awards that are going to be presented today. My name is Franco. I'm the co-founder of a company called Porte. We're extremely excited to be able to partner with VPNS and be the presenting sponsor for today's event. We're given a quick moment to be able to share some of the work we've done, and hopefully for some of you young leaders here who are looking to make an impact, we're able to help assist you with that as well. So I just have a very short presentation here about what we do and who we are, and hopefully that is something that is of interest here for everyone. All right. All right. So again, my name is Franco. I'm the co-founder of Porte. We are a one-on-one mentorship program that helps amazing student leaders like yourself launch a project that is meaningful to you and your college profile. So as we all know that, college is extremely competitive these days, and your story as well as your leadership abilities, it's what's really going to set you apart from a crowd of very accomplished individuals. You would notice that a big thing for us is that the project that we are going to help you launch, it has to be meaningful for you. For us, college is always just a byproduct of meaningful community contribution and involvement. And what we like to do is really discover who you are through one-on-one mentorship, guide you through the process of launching a really great idea, and guide you through the process of scaling that idea, not just within your local school, within your local community, but really around the world. And I just want to tell a very quick story-ish, very quick case study. I'll skip over that. But for example, Toby, which is one of our students, for those of you who might be from the Vancouver area, you might have noticed on the news that one of a Vancouver school student was advocating for something called AEDs. And what AEDs are external defibrillators for if you have a heart attack. So Toby was someone that witnessed, unfortunately, their best friend pass away from a heart attack in school. And he tried advocating for himself to have AEDs installed within the Vancouver School Board. Unfortunately, at that age, he was just grade 9 at the time. He wasn't very successful, but he joined our program, and we started this club with him called Students for AEDs, and we taught him how to promote his efforts, how to contact media, how to launch a project that is going to raise not just awareness, but really make a difference within his community. So through kind of our efforts and coaching, Toby was able to take his project, go all across the local news. For those of you who might be from Vancouver, these are all the major news outlets. And just a few months ago, we were actually able to pass a new law, and this is our Premier David Eby, to mandate AEDs across all schools within BC. So within our province here in Canada, every single school now will have an AED by the end of this year. And that was kind of his passion project and the project that we were able to help him create. And as you can see, we're very impact forward. This is what we're trying to do, is help you discover your mission and how do we create a project from that. I know some of you are international. Our program is an online program, and just so happened we actually just wrapped up a neuroscience summer camp by one of our students who created an organization called Invent Your Own Future. We taught him how to reach out to institutes like Stanford. He's from Hong Kong, so Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and their research center there, to create a neuroscience summer camp for underprivileged youth. So I actually spent a full week working with PhDs, robotics, AI, to learn about mental health as well as neuroscience. So it just so happened we wrapped up the summer camp and we got in touch with VPNS. So there's a very cool relationship there. But whether you're local, whether you are passionate about the refugee crisis, maybe you're passionate about women's rights or menstrual equity, maybe you're about food insecurity and homelessness, or just general youth civic engagement, every single one of our students become a really great protagonist with a unique and bold narrative. And they all move on to top universities and colleges around the world. And that's our mission, and that's what we hope to do. So a quick overview over our program before I pass it off.
Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. He should be joining back in just a moment, though.
By the meantime, Akash, would you like to introduce what Porte has brought to us for prizes?
Before we start the awards, which we will start after Franco comes back and finishes presenting, but Porte sponsored us with awards of 15% off discounts for their program for the top 19 mentees and $150 Canadian cash prize to give out to each of the top 3 projects. And Franco seems to be back, I believe, so we can continue on with.
Apologies. I know I disconnected. I just want to rejoin. Don't want to intrude, but thank you everyone for the opportunity. And I wish everyone the best of luck. And hopefully you are able to sign up for our interest call and learn more. But look forward to seeing everyone's projects. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for Franco for presenting all the awards for us and providing cash prizes. Now, onto what everybody has been waiting for, perhaps, awards. I'll commence by presenting Pura nominated awards before handing it to Akash for your panel evaluated awards of today. And as I always say, please keep in mind that awards are by no means an accurate indication or representation of your commitment or your success. But with that said, there are some mentors and mentees who have gone above and beyond, which we'd like to recognize for today. For the most dedicated mentor, we have Sanjana. Distinguished by her patience, clear guidance, and unwavering dedication, Sanjana is a mentor who's carefully guided mentees through proper deadlines and demonstrated profound empathy when challenges arise. Moving on, we have our most dedicated mentee, also voted by nominations. We have Darshana from USA. Remarkable for their consistent attendance and punctual task completion, Darshana has been nominated for her genuine curiosity to learn more about Alzheimer's research. Darshana's peers have described her as being open to feedback and exploring resources beyond the guidance given. Now moving on to Best Research Project. The winner goes to Afsa Tasneem from UAE. Praised by multiple mentees in her group, Afsa's commitment to the program has been exemplary. Quoting from the nominations, Afsa's contribution went far beyond the expected words, characters, and page limit, extending to 40 to 50 pages. Moving on, we also have our most creative project. And that would be awarded to mentee Meena Maranak and also mentor Sanjana Sinha. From India and Japan, Their project is how do changes in estrogen and progesterone levels during the luteal phase affect the severity of depression or anxious symptoms in individuals with premenstrual dysphoric disorder, PMDD, from a neurophysiological perspective. Featuring a field of healthcare that's commonly overlooked, Mina's research focuses on hormonal fluctuations in the menstrual cycle and advances her studies by investigating their correlation with depressive symptoms. Moving on, we have our award for Best Communication. And this is awarded to Jackie. Jackie is a mentor, and through constant meetings, well-gathered resources, and active communication, Jackie has been nominated for by several of their mentees for the clear instructions given and her commitment to connect with mentees despite differences in time zones. Moving forward, we have our panel evaluated awards, and that will be presented by Akanj, the Chief of Curriculum of our program.
Thank you, Sherilyn. Before we continue with the panel awards, I'd like to break down first how the awards are going to be presented. So first, we will be recognizing the top 3 manuscripts, top 3 posters, and top 3 presentations. After which, we will present the awards for the top 3 overall participants in the program. Now, to give more students the chance to be recognized, the winners of the top 3 overall awards are not going to be included in the individual manuscript, poster, or presentation categories. So in other words, you won't see the same person winning twice. Everyone you see recognized today is being recognized for a distinct achievement. Now, let's begin with our first set of awards. The first category that we are recognizing is for manuscripts. These 3 participants had incredibly well put together research that was enlightening to read through and presented extremely clearly. And we could clearly see the level of hard work and dedication put into your projects. In third place for the best manuscript, we have Sherilyn. We have Haria Alzana Riaz and her mentor Diksha Singh. Diksha is a first-year bachelor's psychology student from England, and Haria Alzana Riaz is from UAE. She investigated how the sociological, neurobiological, and other factors contribute to sex-based differences in the presentation and diagnosis of ADHD in girls. In second place for the best manuscript, we have Ariba Akhlaq and her mentor Zoa Khalid. Zoa is a 5th-year pharmacy student from Pakistan, and Ariba is a grade 9 student from the United States. Ariba investigated what is the relationship between societal stigma and emotional processing in individuals with early onset Alzheimer's disease. And in first place for the best manuscript, we have Umar Khan Razaka with his mentor Mercy Esiaboma. Mercy is a postgraduate mental health student from Nigeria, and Umar Khan is another grade 9 from Uzbekistan. Umar Khan investigated which neurological stress regulation strategies are the most effective and accessible for adolescents and emerging adults, and how these strategies relate to cognitive emotional functioning. Congratulations to all 3 of you on your exceptional standard of manuscript presentation. Now we will move on to the top 3 posters for the artistic participants who put together their intricate research in a manner that was incredibly well presented. Now, these posters were all very fun to go through, as it gave us a window-like look into the in-depth research you all conducted on your topics. Now, in third place, for the best poster, we have Ashita Rawal and her mentor Sion Yu. Sion is a 3rd-year interdisciplinary medical science student from Canada, and Ashita is a grade 12 student from the United States. She investigated the relationship between chronotype and cancer risk and put together a wonderful poster. In second place, for the best poster, we have Sherilyn. In second place for the best poster, we have Natalie Tahor and her mentor Angelika Sachan, a 2nd-year neuroscience student from the United States. Natalie investigated whether neuroplasticity-based therapies restore or enhance cognitive function and memory storage in patients with Alzheimer's disease. And in first place for the best presented poster, we have Pranika Santhil and her mentor Chloe Wu. Now, Chloe is a first-year cognitive and behavioral neuroscience student from the United States, while Pernika is a grade 11 mentee from the United States as well. Pernika investigated how living with atopic dermatitis increases the risk of developing anxiety disorders in young adolescents 13 to 17 years old. Congratulations to all three of you on your wonderful presentations of your posters. Now, we will move on to the final category, which is the top 3 presentations. These were awarded to those who delivered engaging, professional, and impactful oral presentations on their chosen topics. In third place for the best presentation, we have Gianna Pradesh and her mentor Durdana Azimi. Durdana is a second-year psychology student from Pakistan, while Gianna is a grade 11 mentee from UAE. Gianna investigated to what extent does neuroplasticity-based intervention impact reading ability in children with developmental dyslexia during early developmental stages. A very interesting topic that was amazing to watch. Now let's move on to our second place presentation, which is awarded to Divya Sharma and her mentor, Sophie Jin. Sophie is a second-year behavioral neuroscience student from Canada, and Divya is a grade 12 mentee from the United States. Divya investigated the different rates of maturation in the subcortical region and prefrontal cortex combined with an increase of hormones in young individuals and how it leads to an increase in risk-taking behavior. And now in first place for the best presentation, we have Chenwei Pan, a grade 9 student from Canada, and her mentor, Swati Dokania, a first-year history mentor from India. Chenwei investigated whether machine learning models can accurately detect early signs of neurological disorders like Alzheimer's disease using patient data. Congratulations to all three of you for your wonderful presentations. Now we'll quickly recognize the overall 4th to 10th place projects. These are in no particular order and are simply just listed in alphabetical order based on the first names of the mentees. We have Ariba Akhlaq and Zoha Khalid, who investigated the relationship between societal stigma and emotional processing in individuals with early onset Alzheimer's. We have Chenwei Pan and Swati Dokania, who investigated whether machine learning models can accurately detect signs of neurological disorders like Alzheimer's disease. We have Evelyn Yu and Paul Jun, who investigated how circadian misalignment affects behavior and cognitive function. We have Haria Alzana Riaz and Diksha Singh, who investigated how sociological, neurobiological, and other factors contribute to sex-based differences in the presentation and diagnosis of ADHD in girls. Moving on, we have Jennifer Lee and Esiaboma Mercy, who investigated the therapeutic potential of human platelet lysate biomaterials in amyotrophic lateral sclerosis patients. We have Olivia Fincham-Dinsdale and Swati Dokania, who investigated the neuropsychological mechanisms underlying imagination inflation and how this phenomenon affects the reliability of eyewitness testimony in the criminal justice system. Again, another extremely interesting topic for us to read through. And last but not least, we have Umar Kanuzakov, again with Esiaboma Mercy as his mentor, who investigated how neurological stress regulation strategies are the most effective and accessible for adolescents and emerging adults, and how these strategies relate to cognitive emotion function. Now, the highlight of our ceremony, the overall top 3 participants. These students were truly exceptional, and their work stood out not only in one category, but across the entire program. They consistently demonstrated excellence, creativity, and a level of professionalism well beyond our expectations. I also want to note that it was extremely difficult to decide the order of these 3 awards. The quality of work from all 3 of you was so impressive that any one of you could have taken the top spot. In the end, what set them apart were the smallest of details, but what they all shared is that they went above and beyond in every aspect of the research. With that, let's start with the 3rd overall participant. The award for the 3rd overall Best Praise project goes to Lee Soo-hui and her mentor Nitin Kumar, a 4th-year pharmaceutical science student from India. Lee Soo-hui is a mentee who's taking a gap year right now in Singapore, and she investigated whether sensitive periods, moderate effects of childhood emotional abuse, and emotional neglect on emotion regulation development trajectories. Amazing job, Lee. Now moving on to our overall second place project. For second place, we have Aaron John Tan, congratulations, and his mentor, Katrin Burke. Katrin is a second-year psychology student from Canada, and Aaron John Tan is a grade 12 mentee from Qatar. Aaron investigated the preliminary exploration of 9-class EEG emotion recognition with the FACE dataset. This was an absolutely amazing study that I read through personally, and I would highly suggest that you guys read it as well. Congratulations on all the hard work you put into your project, Aaron. And now in first place for the best project of the first iteration of our research mentorship program. In first place, we have Rez Samantha Floresca, a grade 12 mentee from the Philippines, and her mentor, Sidra Saeed, a second-year psychology student from Pakistan. Samantha investigated how natural language processing of speech can be used for early detection of dementia across different languages, accounting for Asian linguistic variation. Again, this was an amazing project to read through, and the level of work and dedication and passion that you put into this project was extremely clear to see. To all of those awarded, you will be receiving an email over the next month or so with your certificates and details of your prizes. Congratulations to you all. Now, the meeting seems to be cut a bit short, but before I let you all go from today's ceremony, I just want to take a moment to congratulate you all on completing this 2-month program. And I'd like to thank you all for the passion, perseverance, and perspectives that you all brought to the first ever iteration of the Research Mentorship Program. I'd like to start off by thanking our mentors for volunteering your time, experience, and guidance. You have all done an amazing job of guiding your mentees, not only teaching research skills, but inspiring high schoolers and the next generation of researchers such as myself. To our mentees, congratulations on everything you've accomplished. The time, effort, and passion you put into your work was clearly reflected through your writing and your presentations. It's thanks to your engagement and interest that this program was able to launch, and we hope that you enjoyed partaking in this journey with us just as much as we enjoyed running it. And finally, I have to thank the many members of this team that volunteered their countless hours to ensuring this ran as smoothly as possible. First, to Sherilyn, thank you for spending countless nights helping to create the materials for each week's meetings, stepping in when our department was overwhelmed. All of this while managing the countless other departments that work in the background as the supports for this program. Thank you to Juliet as well for keeping our department afloat, handling emails, logistics, and so much more. And finally, thank you to all of the editing team who stayed up multiple nights going through each and every one of your submissions, posters, and presentations in preparation for today's ceremony. Without each and every one of you, this program would not have flourished the way that it did. I hope you all took something away from this experience, whether it be a newfound interest in a certain topic you researched or a feeling of accomplishment for completing your first ever research paper. Congratulations again to you all, and best of luck in the future for you. That concludes the meeting. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody, and thank you again for taking part in the first iteration of our research mentorship program. Thank you, everybody.